Namaste. Welcome to practice. For today, have one or two blankets. A bath towel will work too. And let's have one prepared in a roll and lay it on the long edge of the mat here. Find a comfortable seat. I'm going to show you a painting by one of my favorite artists, Maria van Oosterwolde. And this painting is called A Vanitas Still Life, a very common theme in the 17th century. And as you can see, a lot of interesting, very full table. Some half-eaten food, an hourglass, and even a skull. There are also flowers, a vase of wine, common symbols to recognize that life is temporary. I also enjoy are the butterflies in this painting, the symbol of rebirth, and also the globe on the table that maps the celestial beings rather than earthly continents and oceans. I'm showing this painting for today so we can use it as a tool to take a look at how we set our own tables. What important things that we enjoy and we love and we treasure do we place on this table? And I'd like to bridge this concept with a very beautiful yogic concept of aparigraha. This idea of letting go, not grasping, not gripping, to release and live life without this need for possessions. And in doing so, of truly being able to let go, of clearing the table, we're able to come into the realization of our own life's purpose. So take a breath in and a slow breath out. Let's begin our yin practice. Start in Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose, or a supported virasana, sitting on a block, folding the blanket, or simply sitting on the tops of the feet. Come into this pose with an earnestness, a sincerity to receive the energy from above, right? These bolts of creativity, and let it travel down through the steadiness of your legs, stretching the soles of the feet. Today we honor the edge of our bodies. We allow ourselves time to steep in these poses. And we make room for stillness, contemplation. Bring the hands to the earth. Feel the connection of your palms and your feet still. Lower the forehead down. Touching the third eye to the earth, to the ground. Feel the weight of the heart pour into the head a little bit. Lift your head, untuck your toes, sit back on the heels. Reach for the blanket. Rise up onto the shins. We're going to slide the blanket in towards the backs of the knees. We're going to slowly lower the weight down. You can always unroll this blanket, take it out if this is just beyond the edge. We'll hold here for 1 minute and progress the blanket down to stimulate different parts of our foundation, our lives. And you make room through this compression into the awareness of your first chakra, this earthy connection. Lift your hips a bit, lie the blanket down, lower and sit. An option also without moving the blanket is simply to perch up onto the fingertips and just take the intensity out for a couple of moments and then coming back in. Every breath here is a mini meditation on sensation. And the last progression here, lift, slide, and lower. Be supported here. Be respectful of the edges in the body. Notice the patience and the yielding that comes. One more breath here. Observe the natural fluidity of it all. And remove the blanket. Come into a wide-legged balasana. Knees wide, big toes touch, slide the hips back. Walk your hands forward. Soften the forehead, chest. Lay your intentions down to Mother Earth. Ground down through your root chakra here, the base of the pelvis, softening and reconnecting. Earth to earth, the earthiness of yourself and your body and your bones, to the great earth, to the great mother. In yin, we have the gift to observe the breath as it flows naturally instead of manipulating and shaping. So simply let it be enough to notice. Thirty more seconds. As you inhale, Lift about halfway up. Keep rooting through the connective quality of your hands. And come to tabletop position. Adjust your knees so they're underneath your hips. Take a little bit of movement side to side as we prepare for sleeping swan. Guide your left knee forward. Pick up the right knee and walk it back. Having a conversation, a little negotiating with the body as you settle into sleeping swan. And in our yin practice, it's okay to let this be more passive. Yes, so it's okay to unsquare the hips. And let's all lower down to the forearms. The blanket is nearby. You're welcome to use it as a little bit more support. Hands to prayer, soften. Couple more breaths halfway down. I'll offer a few options here. Maybe just simply sliding the blanket out. If you'd like to go to a different place in the pose, the right arm can come parallel to the left shin. The back knee bends. The left arm wraps for a twist. The heel guides towards the glute as you twist open the chest. Always expressing reverence and respect for your edge. If this is too much, you've gone too far, please come back. And together we melt. Taking the chest, taking the head towards the earth, backing the hands perhaps, maybe the fists. Find a sustainable place to hold here for another minute. Slowly rise halfway, resting on the forearms for one deep breath. Press to the palms and lean over generously and slowly on this left hip, allowing the blood flow to return. And simply sit up into half firefly. When you gaze down at your legs, they're at about 90 degrees. Relax the right leg here. Reach for the blanket. Have it handy nearby, maybe folding it in half as we begin to forward fold. Always welcome to ease the way into the pose in your own way, a way that allows you to steep like a cup of tea, steeping yourself into your practice. As you give yourself time, you're welcome to move deeper with the chest lowering closer to the earth. Let the head be heavy. We commit this body to the ground, earth to earth, dust to dust. Begin to exit by pausing in the halfway point with a breath and return. Use the hands to help that right knee back in. Bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana, and breathe here. Second side. Take the blanket with you if you used it on the other side. And simply come into sleeping swan the other direction. Right knee forward, left knee back. Again, pick up the left knee. So walk it back. And take your body for a walk. Relax a little bit into the right. Come to the forearm. Sway the hips left and right. Get to know the options, right, of unsquaring and softening. We took the twist on the other side. This time, bring the left arm parallel to your right shin bone. Bend the back knee, perhaps reaching back for the foot. Trust that inner equilibrium as you turn, leaning, heart opening. The sun is very warm on my face. It just feels so wonderful. The gifts of this planet. So grateful. Might I suggest, if you're twisted, to release the foot and coming down, facing forward, facing the earth with sincere love as we fold. Resting your head on the fists, on the palms, on the pillow, on your blanket. Just 1 minute here. Surrender a little bit if you can. Perhaps taking a look at what is on your table. Take one more breath and rise up halfway, resting on the forearms, gently bringing engagement to the back of the body. And let's rise up together, palms to the earth, pressing up, rolling to the right, kindly massaging that outer right hip. Then sit forward, bring the blanket with you, relax the left leg, And come onto the forearms halfway down. We move in progressions, in stages. Slowly lowering, grounding earth to earth. Remembering, forgetting, and remembering again. One more minute here, so you know, so you choose. Relax the jaw. Just notice my own began to tighten a bit. We honor the tenets of yin, of the edge, of time, and of stillness. Rise up halfway, breathe into the back of the body, and then rise all the way up. Gather your left leg in, gather the feet together, the soles of the feet. Bring your blanket to roll to the tops of the feet. One knee at a time, wrap the blanket underneath the outer ankles, nice and snug. Hands behind the back, gently lift the pelvis a little bit, settle it back down. Bring the hands to the top of the blanket here and begin to fold forward. Very intentionally honoring every step of the way. And as you fold forward, notice the natural withdrawal of the physical sight, of physical light. And the more you fold towards the center of your heart, perhaps you find, right, the seat of the table of your heart. And in this practice, please go up to the table. Take a look. Find an honest place to contemplate the value, right, the ability, the stamina we have for removing those things off the table. Sometimes what we put on our table is not a physical possession, it's not a thing, and rather in its experience, it's a relationship, it's a feeling. And those items offer us an even more unique opportunity to practice aparigraha, of not grasping, of clearing that table. Let these breaths and moments in this fold be personal. Most of all, let them be kind. Please lift up halfway, full breath, this time a little bit into the front of the body. And come on up. Let's remove the blanket, set it aside, and come to lie down on our backs. Lift the knees into the chest, as if this were your legs were the blanket, right? At the beginning, let that compress down. Release the grip on the stomach if it happens to be tense. Slide the hands to the ankles. Allow the knees to open. Remain here. Work onto stirrup pose, holding the outer edges of the feet. This is a very humbling pose, especially when we hold into the second minute. So at any point, you can always come back to this or holding the knees into the chest. Honoring the edge in this time in stillness. Feeling your whole back body that's in contact with the earth support you. Even when life is so challenging, know that you are held. You are undoubtedly connected and exactly where you need to be. What can I clear away from this table of my heart? What can I remove to make room to be of service to others? Take a breath and let that fill the whole body. Bring the legs back down to earth, both feet down. Feel the soles of the feet, press the palms into the crease of the hips, press forward. Open the arms, cross the right thigh over the left, lift the hips a little, shift them to the right, lower your legs to the left, twisted vines. Looking over the right, receiving all the gifts of this physical and emotional practice. Feeling this coiling, intertwining of your legs down into the earth, down into the soil. Create a solid connection and relationship to your foundation. Notice that the feet can relax a little bit more. Return the head to neutral. Bring the legs back. Both feet down. Lift the hips, reset palms to the hip creases. Let's take this to the other side. Shift the hips over, cross the left thigh, lower the legs to the right. Allow the roots to grow deep. Allow the twist to release. Bring the neck to neutral. Gather the legs back. Knees pointing up. Shift the hips. Palms to the hip creases. A brief moment feeling the back body. And slide your legs out one at a time for this concluding pose of our practice, Shavasana. And to offer you an option to place a blanket over the hips and the pelvis. A little bit of down to earthness, bringing all the gifts, all the healing, and the possibility of healing as you rest here. As you gaze upon this table, maybe you pick up an item, a feeling, a lesson you have learned, or even something a little painful, a little sorrowful. You hold it in your hands. You thank this preciousness in your palms, and you move it off the table. And with practice and devotion, maybe we're able to remove so much from the table, maybe everything, so that we are clear and ready to be of service, to fulfill our soul and life's purpose. Aparigraha. Final few breaths and moments steeping in this beautiful tea of your practice. Very sweetly rolling onto your left side. Come into a loose fetal pose. Remembering that you are connected to this earth. Press down, make your way back. Thank you for making time to practice, to contemplate. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.